Hi everyone, Caroline here. I'm going to do the RAD primary syllabus for you to practice at home if you're not doing classes. Make sure you've watched like my little safety video beforehand. Just make sure you've got enough space, make sure you've got plenty of water and that you don't get too hot. So I'm going to talk through the exercises first and then I will dance them, but feel free to go back over it if you think you need a bit more help with it, or message me any questions. So we'll start with your warm-up first of all. So you've got your feet tight together. Make sure I can't see any light in between your legs, like that. Nice and tall, and arms nice and relaxed down by your side. So if you want to, you can give them a little shake, make sure they're relaxed, okay? Then we're bending our knees and stretching our arms forward, bending our knees, bringing our arms down. Do that one again and down. And then after you've done that twice, take your arms out to the side and we're doing two big massive circles, okay? We don't want little ones, nice and big, really stretch your arms. Two big circles, big whooshes. Then we're running on our tippy toes going forward. Just do a little run if you haven't got much space. Run, 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 run. As you do that, you're stretching your arms all the way to the top. Stay up on your tippy toes and you're going to spin around. As you do that, you're going to twinkle your fingers down by your sides as well and finish with your feet together. Then we're going to start from the beginning. So we do our swishes forward and back and forward and back. Two big circles, whoosh and whoosh. And then run all the way backwards on your tippy toes this time. So make sure you're not looking backwards, so you just have to run. Make sure you don't bang into anything. And then sprinkle round and finish with your feet together. Okay, let's do it with the music now. And use the music with your movement, okay? So no rushing or going too slowly. Make sure you do those big whooshes. After you've done that one, we're going to go down to the floor. Now we just don't just sit down any old way. Remember, we've got to make sure we dance and sit down like ballerinas. So kneel down on one knee, on the other knee, sit on your feet, then Little Mermaid tails to the side, and then bring your legs out in front of you and you're going to tickle the floor. Okay, so fingertips on the floor. Make sure your backs are nice and tall, so we're not slumped down like this. You want to be as tall as you possibly can, shoulders down, nice long neck, and a princess crown on top. So legs are tight together, not flopped out like this, okay, and nice pointy toes. You're going to bend your right leg in, slide it along the floor, slide it back out nice and slowly, then naughty toe and good toe. Do the same with your left leg, so you slide it in, slide it out, naughty and good. Then we do both together, make sure you're still sitting up tall, slide them in, slide them out, naughty toes and good toes. Then like you've got a lovely fluffy rug on top of your legs, you're going to stroke down gently, feel how soft it is all the way down to your toes, come up into your nice fifth position, and burst open and tickle the floor again. Okay, then you repeat that, so we're going to do that with the music. Stretch it, naughty, good. your legs in, hide your feet away. Now we still want to keep our tickly fingers on the floor. Try and make it laugh. Mine's not at the moment. It only works when I've got children with me, unfortunately. So I need you to help me. And hopefully it will work next time. So you're going to lift up your arms for your arms and head into second position. And to remind yourselves of the positions, you can say them as you go along. So we're going to go into first position in front of your belly button. So not up by your chest like this. Front of your belly buttons and open. In to first, out to second, into first, out to second. Then you're going to drop your arms down to the floor with your right arm. You're going to circle it across your body. As you do that, you still want your shoulders to face the front, so keep them there. You're just moving your arm across and over. And your left arm across and over. Looking at those hands as they go over, and then both go together. And then lift up to open fifth. Keep those shoulders down, so I don't want this shape here, because that's a squashed fifth and we don't have that position in ballet. So shoulders down, arms open fifth, and then lower it down again and lift it back up to second. First, second, first, second, first, second, and then open fifth. And you hold it there until the end of the music. Make sure your fingernails are on top and not like this. Okay, or like this or like that. Nice and gentle fingers, and then you release it down with the music. Okay, so it's called arms and head. So we're moving our arms quite a lot, but you need to make sure you follow it with your heads as well. Okay, using your eyes and using expression. Right, here we go. Thinking nice and soft. Arms to second, first, second, first, second, first, second, open fifth, and down. Right arm across, left arm across, both arms together, and open fifth. Bring it down, second, first, second, first, second, first, second, open fifth. And then gently bring your arms down by your sides. Now we're going to go back into standing up now, so we have to go up the way that we came. Mermaid tails, sitting on your feet, kneel up on both knees, step your foot forward, it doesn't matter which one, and then step the other one forward. So now we're going to do your bend and run. This is similar to the movement in the warm-up, and this is my stroking the sheep exercise. So remember, we go to the farmer, select our sheep, you can give it a little name, but we only pick the fluffiest sheep because it's going to make it more fun and make sure that you do it more gently. My sheep is going to be called Bob today, so I think that is a good name for a sheep. So I've got Bob in front of me. I'm going to bend my knees, stroke him upwards, then downwards, upwards, then downwards, and then I'm going to lift Bob up to my shoulders, keeping my fingernails on top and balancing on my toes. And then I'm going to run him forward and then place him down at the front. And I'm going to do the same again. Stroke the sheep, and then lift him up. Arms come up to your shoulders, and then run all the way back to the beginning. Okay? Now, if you've done this with me before, you know that I like to sing to this one with my beautiful voice. So I think I will have to do that again for you. And feel free to join in. The most fun song in the world. So sheep ready? Lift him up and run forwards. And again, stroke the stroking the sheep. Now we're going to do bend and point. So you start with your feet in first position for this one. So make sure that those legs are nice and tight together again and that you're nicely turned out, okay? Not in parallel anymore, first position. So toes are facing the corners and you hold your skirt, and that's going to help you stand nice and tall as well. So we've got that nice shape here. So you're going to do 2 demi-pliés, that's the little ones. So you make 2 diamonds, 1 and 2. On the third one, you bend, you point your right foot, so slide that toe along the floor, which is quite tricky with bare feet, but in your ballet shoes it should be a bit easier. Then you're staying bent on this leg, okay? Then you slide it back in again to first position, and then you stretch up. Then you do the same the other side. Bend, slide, slide, stretch. After that, you're going to do 3 walks forward, starting with your right foot, toes leading. 1, 2, 3. On number 4, you bring your feet back to first position. Okay, so we're not doing 4 walks, we're doing 3 and bring it back to first position. Then you repeat it again. Demi-plié, demi-plié, bend, slide, slide, stretch, bend, slide, slide, stretch, walk, right, left, right, first position to finish. Okay, I will start this a little bit further back because you've lost my feet now, but we'll do it with the music and then you can follow. So make sure 3 walks and join together. Stay nice and tall the whole time. And remember, when you're doing your demi-pliés as well, we're not sticking our bottoms out. You've got to think of your toaster. You are the piece of toast. You've got to slide into the toaster and out of the toaster. Into the toaster and out of the toaster. If you stick your bottom out like that, you're going to burn your bottom and you're going to burn your chest because that goes forward automatically. Okay, so sliding in and out, staying nice and tall. Transfer of weight. This is the fun one. Now this is going to be a tricky one to do if you haven't got a lot of space. So I'm going to do lots of little runs because I'm limited for space as well. So I'm going to just adjust it. But this is purely for practicing at home. Remember, when you're in the big space, we would do a much bigger run and a much bigger swish jump. All right. So we are looking for our butterfly. You have your own individual butterfly. You can pick the colour. It can be glittery. It can have colours on it. Completely up to you. But you need to make sure you keep your eyes on that butterfly because we keep letting it go, but we need to catch it. Okay, so feet in first position. And we're looking for the butterfly first. So we're going to go to the right first. Looking to the right. Make sure you're bent in this knee. This leg is straight and pointed out to the side. So your knee should be facing that way. It shouldn't be facing inwards. And then when you go to the other side, that leg is facing out, that leg is bent, and this is nice and straight, okay? So we go side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4. We see the butterfly, we point in front of us, it's fluttering up there in the sky. I've got a nice yellow one today with some black dots on it. So I'm going to run towards my butterfly, just a little run, and then we're going to do our swish jump, okay? So we're going to swish our leg, our right leg. So if you look at that from the side, I'm using the floor swish, pointing it as it comes off the floor, and then I'm going to join my feet together as I jump. All right, so we do swish and jump to catch the butterfly. So I'm just going to do that from the beginning again. So we're looking to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. I see my butterfly, run towards it, swish and jump, okay? And then you're going to let it go, opening the arms. Then we're going to look for it again. To the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. This time it's gone over to the left corner. So you're going to point and swish, jump and let it go. We look again. To the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, over to the right corner. Run, 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 run. Swish, jump. Catch your butterfly again. This time, don't let it go. You've let it escape enough. We've got to hold on to it this time, all right? It's fluttering in your hands. You spin round and round and round and round and round. About 2 or 3 times, then you run back to your spot. Feet together, and then on the last count, you look up to the sky, make a lovely V shape with your hands, and look at your butterfly fly away back into the clouds. Okay, and make sure you've got your feet nice and tight together. So the most tricky part of this is probably those transfer of weight, making sure that knee is facing outwards, and then the swish jump as well. All right, so we're not trying to get our leg as high as we possibly can. We're just sliding it, and then it comes back in. Out, in. All right. Okay, let's try with the music. So remember, be careful if you've got a smaller space than me. Just do teeny tiny little runs, okay? Marches. So you can do this travelling how you like, depending what space you've got. I'm going to do mine going forwards when I'm going to talk over it, and then I'll do it travelling around in a circle, which is how we'd probably do it in an exam. So you step with your right foot going forward first, lifting that knee up. Make sure it's nice and high by your belly button, and that your foot is lovely and pointed by the side of your knee, okay? So not here, 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 right here, okay? Now the first 2 you have to balance for a bit longer. So you have to hold it, hold 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, and then you're doing 8 marches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you do the whole thing again, and that repeats. All right, so the same thing on these marches. Your feet still need to be by the side of your knee, and nice and high knees as well. When you move your arms, you are walking like a soldier, just how they march, but I don't want your arms to go any higher than your belly button. Okay, so that's in front and behind. So we don't want this action, because I've never seen a soldier do that before. If he did, I think he'd get chucked out of the parade, all right? So the same is for us. Keep it nice and low, working with the opposite leg. So if you're lifting your right leg up, your left knee your left arm should be forward. Can't remember what body part I'm on. Then if you've got your left knee up, you should have your right arm forward, okay? Because if you do it the opposite way, it means that you do it all wonky. And the way that's an easy way to think about it is think about just how you walk. Just have a practice now, walking, don't even think about it, and think what your arms are doing. They naturally swing in opposite directions. They do not go the same arm as leg. If you walk to school or to the shop like that, then you would get some funny looks, I'm sure. Alright, so make sure it's opposition. It's going to help you with your balance as well. And remember, with balance, pull your belly buttons in without pushing your chest back though. So just think, ooh, belly button in, then I can hold it for longer. Ooh, belly button in. Okay, right, let's try it with the music. I'm going to go round in a circle. Start by stepping with your right foot first. In a circle like I did if you've got enough space. If not, you can go forwards or backwards, or just practice it on the spot if you really don't have that much space. Okay, and make sure you keep those knees nice and high. So jumping now. Hopefully you're not too tired at the moment. If you're feeling a little bit hot, then grab yourselves a little drink and you can pause it and then come back. So your jumps, we do these in parallel. You're bending your knees, you're doing 4 jumps on the spot facing the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the next time you do it, you're going to make a quarter turn each time, turning around to the right. Okay, so you've got 1 facing the side, 1 facing the back, 1 facing the other side, and then come back to where you started. Then you do 4 more jumps in parallel on the spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do 2 big star jumps. Out, in, out, in. So make sure you're really stretching your arms and getting those feet nice and wide apart. Now what we are looking for when you do your jumps is nice pointy toes. So you bend your knees and think about exploding upwards, and as you explode, the tips of your toes are going to look at the floor. Look, and then land with bendy knees again. So you do bend, stretch, bend. So nice straight legs in the air and nice bent legs when you land, okay? Because that's your little springboard, your little cushioning. If you don't bend your knees when you land, it's going to hurt and you're going to hurt your knees, all right? I don't even think I could do it because I don't want to hurt my knees. But I've done it before and it is painful, so don't do it. So you bend your knees, stretch in the air, point your toes and land. But every single jump needs to be the same. Each one stretching your knees. And the same on the jumps turning round. All you're doing is a quarter turn each time. But the same rule applies for pointing your toes. And then nice straight arms on these star jumps. Okay. Let's do it. Good, again that one's a little bit tiring, so feel free to have a little drink after that. Right, spring, so I'm going to do a couple of versions of this. There's a shorter piece of the music and there's a longer piece of the music. With the shorter piece of the music, I'm just going to stay on the spot to practice the step. So these are your springs, and we've got 2 steps within it, spring points and springs, okay? Springs, it'll be easy peasy for you because you're just running from foot to foot, Trying to keep your knees together and trying to point your toes behind you and kick your bottom. Just like that, side to side. It's just like elegant running basically. But your spring points, you start from first position. And just to practice it, I want your big toe on the floor. This is our dip the chip exercise. So I want you to pretend you've got your big toe is a nice big chunky chip. And you have to choose what sauce you're going to dip it into. I'm going to have mayonnaise today, I think. I've already had a bit of mayonnaise, so I'm going to go for that. So we're dipping it into the floor. Let's make sure you can see my feet. So my big toe is touching the floor, my knee is turned out, and then just want you to do the same with the other foot, practicing that point position. And change, and change, and change. It's important that this foot is always flat and this foot is pointed. Then they change. Flat point, flat point, spring point, dip the chip, dip the chip. Okay, now that's nice and slow. You're holding your skirts, but we want it to stay nice and bouncy. Spring point, spring point, spring point, spring point, spring point, spring point, spring point. Okay, make sure you can see that my heel is always on the floor back here, because what we don't want is for it to change to spotted dogs like this. Okay, at no point can you see my toes pointed there. They're called spring points, so you need to make sure you see that point and a nice bendy knee here. Okay, so the whole thing, you do 8 spring points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you do 7 springs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On count number 8, jump your feet together. Okay, so I'm going to do it on the spot first. And then with the longer piece of music, I'm going to go round in a circle, which is how you do it in your exam. Okay. Spot. And jump. Okay, I'm going to turn around now and do it. Oh, hoping the longer version is on here. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Round in a circle now. If you're wondering why I was holding my arms like that, in case I didn't mention it before, it's where you're holding your skirt. But I don't have a skirt, so I'm just pretending it's my imaginary skirt that I'm flowing around. Okay. Right, hops, jumps and springs. So this one starts off with some clapping. So I'm just going to kneel down for a second so we can practice the rhythm. We won't do this in your exam, the sitting down. But we do it with a certain tune, and it's beans on toast. So the song is beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on, beans on, beans on toast. Okay, and again, beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on, beans on, beans on toast. And we do that with clapping as well, okay? So clap and say it. Beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on, beans on, beans on toast. Beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on, beans on, beans on toast. Now in your actual exam, you wouldn't sing that song. That is Caroline's special beans on toast song, but just use it for practicing, okay? Otherwise the examiner will give you a funny look. but for now you can do beans. So you clap it twice through that rhythm, and I won't say the beans on toast bit when I do it with the music, but that is the rhythm we want to keep to. We clap it through twice, and then we do some dancing, which also goes with that rhythm. So you start near the back of the room, and you hold your skirts, and after you've done your 2 sets of claps, you're going to do hop, hop, scotch with your feet apart. Doesn't need to be turned out here, it's a parallel second, so toes facing forward. And then you change feet, hop, hop, scotch. Okay, so hop, hop, scotch, hop, hop, scotch, hop, hop, scotch, hop, hop, scotch. And that's your beans on toast, beans on toast. Second half, hop, scotch, hop, scotch. So just a single one that time. Then you jump your feet together, apart, and then a big jump around to the back, and you keep your feet in second. You look all the way around to the back. Okay, so that whole dancing bit facing the front, and then we go back the other way. So you do hop, hop, scotch, hop, hop, scotch, hop, scotch, hop, scotch, in, out, jump. Then do the same to the back, picking up your right foot first. Hop, hop, scotch, hop, hop, scotch, hop, scotch, hop, scotch, in, out, jump. Okay, keeping your feet in second at the end as well, and then you just finish there. Bring your feet in together afterwards. So we clap it twice through, and then we dance it twice through, travelling forwards and backwards. So with the music.